Stephen A. Smith is no stranger to bold takes and passionate rants. But when he gives credit where it's due, it means something. And after Game 2 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves, he had one thing to say: the Lakers exposed the Timberwolves in a big way, and it all started with defense. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Let's break it down. Game 1 didn't go the way the Lakers had hoped. Playing at home, with the crowd behind them, they fell short. Minnesota's defense was sharp. Their length and activity in the paint disrupted everything the Lakers tried to do. The energy, it just wasn't there. And when you're facing a young, hungry team like the Timberwolves, you can't afford to start slow. So going into Game 2, the pressure was on. And the Lakers responded. They came out with urgency, with physicality, and with a clear plan: clamp down on defense and make life miserable for Minnesota's stars. And that's exactly what they did. The Lakers held the Timberwolves to a low-scoring night and limited the impact of key players who had torched them in Game 1. Now here's the wild part. Offensively, the Lakers still weren't at their best. They scored just 95 points for the second game in a row. Usually, that's not enough to win a playoff game. But their defense was so locked in, so aggressive, that it didn't matter. They dictated the pace, controlled the paint, and forced Minnesota into tough, contested shots all night long. And that's what caught Stephen A. Smith's attention on ESPN's First Take. He didn't just give the Lakers a nod, he dissected what went wrong for Minnesota, and in doing so, gave LA credit for capitalizing on those weaknesses. One of the main issues he pointed out? Predictability. In classic Stephen A. style, he said, everybody and their grandmother knows Julius Randle is going left. Now, of course, Randle plays for the Knicks, but Smith was using that as an example to make a larger point about the Timberwolves' offensive approach. He was referring to how Anthony Edwards and the rest of Minnesota's offense were falling into the same traps over and over again. No variation. No surprise. Just running into the Lakers' defensive wall. Smith made it clear. You can't be predictable in the playoffs. You can't try the same thing over and over again and expect different results, especially not against LeBron James. He even mentioned J.J. Redick, currently seen as a sharp basketball mind and potential coaching figure, as someone who wouldn't fall for such predictable offensive sets. You can't do that against a J.J. Redick-coached team. You can't do that against Luka Doncic and those boys. You can't do that against LeBron. Because when you're predictable, your season ends. That's a warning shot straight at Minnesota. But underneath all that criticism, there's something else: recognition of how well the Lakers executed defensively. They rotated. They closed out. They communicated. And they made the Timberwolves uncomfortable. This kind of defensive commitment is exactly what fans and analysts have been waiting to see from the Lakers all season. And in Game 2, it was on full display. But let's not sugarcoat it. LA still has a lot to figure out on the offensive side of the ball. Scoring fewer than 100 points in back-to-back games isn't a sustainable formula for playoff success. The Timberwolves' length, particularly from players like Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, is making things difficult inside the paint. The Lakers have struggled to get clean looks, and their perimeter shooting has been shaky at best. If they want to win this series, and make a deep run, they'll need to find ways to get more efficient scoring, whether that's through better ball movement, more pace in transition, or simply knocking down open shots when they get them. But defensively, they've shown they're capable of setting the tone. One interesting wrinkle in this turnaround has been the Lakers' decision to go with a smaller, more versatile lineup. Instead of relying on size alone, they're emphasizing speed, switchability, and defensive effort. That move seems to be paying off, especially when you consider how much trouble it's giving Minnesota's half-court sets. Stephen A. Smith noticed. Fans noticed. And most importantly, the Timberwolves noticed. There's a shift happening in this series, and it's the kind of momentum swing that could change everything. Because when you win a playoff game without scoring a ton of points, it tells the rest of the league something. This team is locked in. This team is willing to dig in on defense and win ugly. And in the postseason, that's often what separates contenders from pretenders. Smith, who's often quick to criticize when teams underperform, made it clear. The Lakers made adjustments, they executed their game plan, and they responded like a team that understands what it takes to win. Now the question becomes, can they do it again? Game 3 is coming. The Timberwolves are going to make adjustments of their own. And the Lakers will need to find another gear, especially on offense, if they want to keep this momentum going. But one thing's for sure, the Lakers aren't going down without a fight. And if the defense from Game 2 is any indication, they've got plenty of fight left in them. Rui Hachimura gave Lakers fans a reason to cheer, and head coach J.J. Redick a reason to believe. In Game 2 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, with their backs against the wall, the Los Angeles Lakers had to respond. They knew they couldn't afford to drop both games at home. The pressure was on, and the energy inside Crypto.com arena reflected that urgency. The Lakers didn't just need a win, they needed to fight for it. And few players embodied that fight more than Rui Hachimura. Early in the game, Rui hit the floor hard, face first. You could hear the crowd collectively hold its breath. Moments later, he re-emerged from the locker room wearing a protective mask. But almost as soon as he stepped back on the court, he tore it off. It was bothering him. It didn't matter. He kept playing. He kept battling. That moment sent a message, not just to the fans, but to his teammates and to the Timberwolves. Rui Hachimura wasn't going anywhere. His performance was gritty, physical, and fearless. He fought for rebounds, contested shots, and dove for loose balls. And after the game, head coach J.J. Redick couldn't have been more proud. He played like a warrior tonight, Redick said. I'm sure he's probably in the X-ray room right now. There were a few plays where he got key deflections, disrupted the offense. He was awesome. That kind of praise doesn't come lightly from Redick, a coach who demands effort on both ends of the floor. But Hachimura earned every word. It wasn't a pretty game. The Lakers only scored 95 points, the same total they had in Game 1. But the difference this time was the defense. They made it physical. They made it tough. And they forced Minnesota into difficult shots all night long. Yes, the offense still needs work. But the Lakers got back into this series through grit, effort, and defense. And Rui Hachimura was right in the middle of it. Over the course of the first 2 games of the series, Hachimura has averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. His shooting has been solid, just under 39% from the field and 33% from deep, but those stats don't tell the full story. What the box score doesn't show is the way he rotates on defense, the way he communicates, or the way he brings energy on every possession. And with the Lakers going small for most of the series, those contributions matter more than ever. When you're running LeBron James and Rui Hachimura as your big men, you need them to do everything: defend the paint, switch on the perimeter, rebound, and still provide scoring when needed. Hachimura has embraced that role. He's not just surviving, he's thriving in it. His willingness to play through pain, to play through discomfort, and to still give maximum effort is something Redick and the rest of the coaching staff are undoubtedly using as fuel going forward. As the series now shifts to Minnesota, the Lakers face a whole new challenge: winning on the road against one of the best defenses in the NBA. And if they're going to do that, they'll need more performances like the one Hachimura gave in Game 2. Not necessarily in terms of points, but in terms of passion, hustle, and toughness. Make no mistake, this series is far from over. The Lakers proved they can punch back. But they'll need to keep swinging. They'll need every player to step up the way Rui did. The hope is that Hachimura's injury is nothing serious. The early signs are positive. He was able to finish the game, and there's no indication that he'll miss any time. That's a relief, not just for Lakers fans, but for a Lakers team that relies heavily on his size and versatility. And here's what matters most. In the biggest moments of Game 2, Rui Hachimura showed he wasn't just available, he was essential. He showed the kind of resilience that defines playoff basketball. The kind of toughness that inspires a locker room. The kind of heart that can shift the momentum of a series. And now, the Lakers head to Minnesota knowing exactly what it takes to win. It's not just about execution, it's about effort. It's not just about the stars, it's about the grit players who set the tone. If Rui Hachimura keeps playing like this, the Lakers will have a fighting chance. And if the rest of the team follows his lead, don't count them out just yet. Because Game 2 wasn't just a win on the scoreboard. It was a statement. And Rui Hachimura delivered it loud and clear. The positive news. The Lakers aren't done yet. Financially, they have the flexibility to add one more player from the buyout market. But there's a catch. they'll need to clear a roster spot first. That's exactly what they did to make room for Len, waiving Christian Wood, who hasn't played a game since late last season due to a lingering knee injury. The Wood experiment didn't work out, and with his uncertain health status, the move makes sense. Still, the Lakers' next move might not be so simple. Right now, the list of available centers on the buyout market is, let's say, underwhelming. One name that's been floated is Mo Bamba, a player Lakers fans already know. Bamba was with the team 2 seasons ago and was once considered a high-upside prospect. He's got a 7 feet 10 inches wingspan, can stretch the floor a bit, and block shots. Sounds promising, right? But here's the reality. Bamba hasn't averaged more than 16 minutes a game since the 2021-22 season. His development has stagnated, and he's struggled to earn consistent playing time wherever he's gone. While he might offer some rim protection and floor spacing in theory, the question is whether he can actually deliver it on a nightly basis, especially in high-pressure games down the stretch. So, where does that leave the Lakers? They're in a delicate spot. On one hand, they clearly need help at the center position. On the other, the options available might not be much better than what they already have. It's a tough balance, one that could shape how far this team can realistically go in the playoffs. Let's not forget, this is a team with competitive aspirations. Even without a dominant frontcourt star, the expectation in Los Angeles is always to win. But the Western Conference is brutal this year. Denver, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and even rising teams like Dallas and Sacramento are not going to make life easy. And if the Lakers want to survive a 7-game series against any of them, depth in the frontcourt will be crucial. One possible scenario: the Lakers could go after a veteran big with limited mileage this season, someone who might be flying under the radar. Players who were bought out earlier but haven't signed yet. Or even international names who could be available in the coming weeks. The front office is known for doing its homework, and Rob Pelinka has pulled off surprises before. There's also the possibility that the team shifts its focus to another position altogether. While the center spot is the most obvious concern, the Lakers have had issues with perimeter defense and three-point shooting at times. If a quality wing or combo guard becomes available, don't be shocked if LA pounces, even if it means doubling down on small ball lineups. But at the end of the day, it's all about matchups. Come playoff time, every possession counts. Every rotation matters. And whether the Lakers make another signing or not, they'll need contributions from every corner of the roster, from veterans to role players, from new additions to young talent. So, the question stands, will the Lakers make one more move? They have the flexibility. They have the motivation. And with the postseason fast approaching, the clock is ticking. Whether it's Mo Bamba, another available big, or a totally unexpected name, the Lakers might just have one more card to play. Stay tuned.